Hello everyone, my name is Philbert and I'm currently acting as a consultant for a global business strategy consulting firm, and I'm working with Akime Wiget as they are considering to expand their sales globally. So Akime is trying to expand their sales to different countries like France, China, and India. So they have to ensure some of the factors that can affect global business. And among those factors, we have like the trade barriers, we have the tariffs, we have the imports and exports, we have the exchange rates, uh, as well as the trading partnerships and labor. So they have to make sure they know about these concepts and how they can affect their business as much as they are conducting business globally. We'll not be talking about all of these factors, but we're going to focus on the exchange rates. We are going to also focus on the trade barriers as well as the import and exports. Without taking much of the time, let's start on the exchange rate. When we talk of the exchange rate, we mean, like we most of the time we talk of the exchange rate when we are trying to convert the currency into another currency. So it's all about the transactions which occur between, like just converting the currency into another one. So the exchange rate is the value of one currency when you are trying to convert it to another currency. So when you talk of the, let's take an example, when you are trying to convert from US dollars to another currency, you have to keep in mind the exchange rate, or the value of that currency as compared to the US dollars. And the exchange rate can be influenced by different factors, and those are like the inflation, because when in a country there is a higher inflation, you will see that the exchange rate for their currency is low. So their currency will be cheap because that country is facing the inflation. We also have the differentials in the interest rates, or when there is higher interest rate in a certain country, it will be giving the opportunity for the lenders like to get more returns, and those more returns will be contributing to the higher money supply within that country, which is also leading to the inflation in that country. And as you understand, it will lead to the influence of the exchange rate, because in that country the currency will be cheap, or their value will be low. We also have the public debt. When you talk of the public debt, it's that the money that the government or the country owns to other countries or other organizations, and have been taken to solve the sum or to finance some of the national projects. So this factor also influences the exchange rate, because when the country has more of the debts, it will like discourage the foreign investors. And when the foreign investors are not coming within that country, that's where like the public or the government will be trying to print more money to pay back those debts, because there is no other options. So when they have more of the debts, it will be like having a lot of money in that country, which is also leading to that factor we are focusing on, which is inflation. Then there will be like cheap in the value of the currency within that country. We cannot talk of the exchange rate and forget to compare like the United States dollars, which is the country in which Acme Wiget operates, with those countries where it's trying to, or is planning to expand its sales. And those countries are China, France, and India, as you have said. So when you have one USD, you are given a 6.71391 Chinese yuan, because China use the currency which is called the yuan. And one USD equals to 5.838873 French franc, because the French, the official currency which is used in French is French franc. While for the India, when you have one USD, you get 6.71381 Indian rupee. They use the currency which is called rupee or Indian rupee. And you have to keep in mind that the value for the currency or the exchange rate changes time over time. I think that's all with the first factor of the exchange rate. And you have also to talk of the trade barriers. When they talk of the trade barriers, these are the government restrictions that are put on the free international exchange or trade, international trade, like as a way of limiting or discouraging the exchange of goods and services between a country and other international countries. So it's kind of discouraging or putting restrictions on the free trade. And the example of the trade barriers can be like the tariffs, the import charges, the quotas, as well as the import licensing and so on. That's also all about the trade barriers. The last but not the least factor that you can talk about is the import and export. When they talk of the import, they mean all of the goods and services that are taken in a country, which is meaning they are from the other outside countries, so they're imported or they are taken into the home country. On the other side, when they talk of the export, we mean those products and services that are produced within a country and they are taken outside of that country. Let's take an example. If the United States produces, for instance, cement, and they take it outside of the United States, that refers to the export. On the other side, they can be needing some of the clothes from other countries like Europe, so those are the imports. Basically, I would like to thank you very much for paying attention to this video, and that's all about what Gate can consider while they are trying to expand their sales overseas or globally. Thank you very much.